that could have been my hand.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Good morning. It's Sunday, the 4th of October. I don't know, what is the date today? Oh my god, I guessed it right. It's the 4th of October. Tomorrow is the public holiday, the Labor Day public holiday, so I am super excited because I'm going to head off to my friend's house and we're all going to have a big barbecue and play games and hang out. And I have challenged myself to not use my phone the whole day. So hopefully I can film that and take you guys along with me and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. I trust that I can, so yeah.
On the night before, which is a Saturday, I worked on editing last week's video, so I usually try to take it pretty easy on Sunday mornings. It's probably around 11 AM right now, and I'm just sitting down to eat some brunch, which today consists of 2 pieces of toast, last night's barbecue leftovers, and an up and go. It was pretty filling, but quite enjoyable, and I especially love corn for some reason, especially corn on the cob. I'm also rereading The Picture of Dorian Gray because I recently saw the book in my room and remembered that I really enjoyed it after my first read when I was a teenager. So I kind of wanted to just read it again and see if I would have the same reaction. To be honest, I am so terrible with reading nowadays. I wouldn't be able to tell you whether I'm enjoying it or not at the moment, since I'm only 3 chapters in and I've now just forgotten about the book yet again. But if you're interested in reading a classic, I'd say it's a pretty easy book to pick up and the language is quite digestible, to the point that I understand most of the words without having to Google the meaning, which by the way is something that always happens to me when I read classics. Does that happen to anybody else or is that just me? After I did that, I went to Woolies to go shopping for the next barbecue that I was having tomorrow, and that was really boring, so I didn't bother filming that. No, actually I take that back because when I was at Woolies I saw this little robot and it was cleaning up a bunch of spills, so that was really cool.
Good morning, everybody. My room is super messy, so I'm going to try and block it. Today I am trying to go 24 hours without using social media because I was thinking maybe I shouldn't use my phone, but I just realized I have terrible sense of direction, so I'll definitely need to use my phone if I'm using Google Maps. So I thought that like I will ban myself from using social media today. I'm going for a morning climbing session and then I am going to my friend's house for a barbecue, so I think it'll be pretty easy not to go on social media for the whole day. We'll see how we go. So yeah, I'm excited to see whether I can do it or not. I'm sure I can, so.
The first boulder I tried after I finished warming up was this pink dino, which by the way I didn't even realize was a dino because I looked at it for about 2 seconds before I hopped on. And so you can just see me like trying to figure it out, looking around and trying to get around it because I really did not feel like doing a dyno after I just warmed up. So here I go a little bit reluctantly because I didn't think I really trusted my feet at all. But you know, it's better to give it a try and hop on for round 2. I got it this time, yay! Second time's a charm. But I don't know what it is. Every time I look back on the videos of me doing any dynos, I'm just wondering, why does it look so unimpressive? Like I felt like I was flying through the skies, you know, giving it my all. But no, I was actually just jumping like less than a meter. But I really enjoyed this climb because it was this cool like drop knee section, and then you had to go back down before you went back up to go to the end, so that was really fun. This next climb was an orange, I believe it was a V2 according to the gym. and it was pretty easy. I really like these types of holds because they're quite juggy, but not like in a traditionally juggy way. So it was pretty easy, and I liked that it was like a good warm-up to start climbing incline, because I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. Also, upon reflection, I realized I probably should have started with this climb as it was a V2 compared to the one before, which was a V4. But then again, I really don't like slightly inclined walls, I only like slabs, so it's probably good that I just did this slowly rather than looking at the grades. So here's me hopping onto the next climb that I decided to do, which I think is also a V2. This is also quite a juggy climb because the holds are all quite positive, and I think I get a bit nervous when I do inclined walls, so I just try to warm up from as easy as possible because my upper body strength is not that good, so I just try to pace myself instead of going on and jumping on, because I feel like I've definitely injured myself a lot in the past without pacing myself. But of course, everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and we should try to use our strengths and weaknesses to have lots of fun in the gym and not take it too seriously. At least that's what I think. So this next climb was this red V5, which was really slabby and was kind of tricky, and I feel like I just didn't bother reading the wall or bothered to think about how to do it properly before I jumped on. So I kept just trying to do the moves over and over again to see if I could even do them. And then I came to the conclusion that I was clearly just too short and not able to reach to the other side to do it. So it was really frustrating, and I actually just spent a lot of time just wasting my energy and getting annoyed at myself. So you can just see I am brushing my sorrows away. After that, I just didn't give myself any breaks. I just kept jumping on and failing. In hindsight, I probably should have just taken a longer break in between all of my attempts, because I'm pretty sure I took no breaks at all. And then I was just falling off due to exhaustion and determination, but then I think that really affected my accuracy, because the first move, as you can see, is quite a hard move where you kind of have to pull back and keep the tension with a right foot smear, or just get on using different holds. But I think my mind was really not there. But honestly, it's totally fine. We all have our crappy days when we go to the gym, and to me, climbing is still fun, even though it challenges you both physically and mentally sometimes a lot, but it's good to learn from that, I think. I ended up just giving up and then moving on to some other climbs to try before I went home to get ready to go to the barbecue. When I revisited the gym a few days later to try this boulder out, it was actually surprisingly a bit easier to get on, because I think I just had a completely different mindset at the time, and I was trying this new beta which I saw this amazing strong girl do before me, and I totally appreciate it because it was so flexy and really static, which I really enjoyed, because what I was trying before was a little bit dynamic, and then it was all based on being precise and landing the right foot and arm at the right place. But in the end, it was actually a really fun climb, and I really appreciate that I was able to see somebody else do it, and then that gave me the courage to continue and eventually send it. So I was like, woohoo, I did it.
Let's go.
Today is the Labor Day holiday, and we are heading to our friend's house to have a barbecue. And it's 31 degrees today, which is really hot. And I am still continuing not using my phone for social media. So far, I have not done that, except for text Greg when I went to his house. But that's not social media, so I am doing well.
Wow, salad. I hate it.
So he's put all the best dishes to
So here I am preparing to make some guacamole, which by the way I have never made before in my whole life, so I decided I would just try and do it because I love guacamole and I think that it is delicious, so why not learn how to make it. And as you can see, clearly I've never cut an avocado before in my whole life because I'm doing it so slowly, but it's so satisfying when you cut it and then there's these two perfect little halves. And the next part I just cut out because it's me being super dangerous, where I almost cut my finger off because I didn't hit the center of the avocado with the hilt of the knife. So I almost cut my finger off, but the avocado skin saved me, so I'm very grateful. And I will learn how to use a knife properly and not show it on the internet because I don't want to be responsible for people using it incorrectly.
Look,
Yeah,
that could have been my hand.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
So despite this being the first time that I've ever made guacamole, I thought I'd just share with you the process and what my friend Michael taught me in terms of making it, in case you wanted to make it yourself, because it actually ended up tasting pretty good. Not to toot my own horn, lol. But essentially you'll need the 2 avocados that I showed you at the beginning, and you should cut them correctly, unlike me, and scoop them up so that they go in the bowl. And next all you have to do is dice the onions. So the way that I did it was like a specific way that Michael taught me, but I think if you're interested you should Google how to do it because I don't really know how to explain what I'm doing, and plus I was actually so bad at it, and you can see like there's so many chunks of onion that are just like not even the right shape, but it's totally fine. Like the whole point was me trying to make the thing from scratch by myself, which I did, and now I can add this to my little repertoire of things that I can cook, which by the way is limited to like fried rice for now, lol. You add all the onions in and then you get ready to add the next vegetable in, which was a tomato. Essentially you do the same thing, you dice the whole thing and then pop them all into the mix.
Hello.
Because it was at the end of like a
Hello,
5-day driving.
He's like, what?
Now back to the guacamole making. You essentially add some salt and pepper to season and start mashing, and then it's recommended that you mash with a fork or a spoon, which is what I was doing at the beginning. And as you can see, it is very cathartic, quite visually appealing as well, if I do say so myself. And the rest of the process is just adding your favorite spices such as cayenne pepper or chili flakes and a little bit of lime juice, and mixing and mashing until it tastes the way that you want it to taste.
No, 3.
Now I'm making Annie do it now.
Oops.
Annie hates coriander.
I do, but I'm putting it in anyway.
I hate coriander.
I'm a masochist.
Josh hates coriander,
Josh is okay.
but we're putting it in. What, the new graphics cards?
It's better that's covering the smell of the coriander.
We're also treated to these delicious macarons that our friend Richard brought us, but he had to leave, so thank you for the food, Richard.
That's
Hi, Annie.
bullying right there.
Alcoholic
I wonder what
beverages.
Paolo is up to.
Very good.
And after we finished and satisfied with our stomachs, we went inside because it was 31 degrees outside, and we hung out and listened to music and also played this game called Codenames, which you can find online. But essentially it's like sort of like Guess Who but with words, and you can only give clues in the form of one word. I don't think I explained it correctly, but I think if you're interested, feel free to Google it because it's actually really fun and it's really good and tests your relationship with your friends and also your ability to think as well. And in the end, we split the teams into 2, so the people on the left were in one team and then the people on the right, including myself, were in another team, and we actually ended up winning 3 times in a row, which I was not surprised by because we are the best and the others were clearly not as good as us. Just kidding. By the way, although it looks like we're not really doing anything except for lying around, which we are, but we're also actually all looking at our phones. Well, actually, I wasn't looking at my phone, I was looking at Annie's phone to try and figure out what the next clue was. So, yeah, again, I am abiding by my rule of not using social media because I didn't get my phone out at all, so there was no temptation. That was essentially it. That was my Labor Day weekend. And I hope that you also had a wonderful weekend if you were able to have this holiday. And if not, I hope you enjoyed this video.
Lovely berry platter. Oh, it's not focused. Okay, there we go. But then I walk here into this corner, and what do I see? The devil's herb.
I'll put a timer on for a minute.
A minute?
Hang on.
Alright. I'm watching.
Alright, stop.
Watching. Go.